Hi, this is Jackie,
Hi, this is Diana.
and you're listening to Home Bodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we break down and dissect HBO Max series. And we are talking about And Just Like That, Season 2, Episode 8, 100 Years Ago, which was when this episode came out. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what it feels like.
What is it? 2 weeks? 2 weeks
2
in?
weeks ago.
Okay. Almost 3 weeks?
We're a week behind. Oops.
Okay. Ish. But episode 9's out already. I don't know. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
So this, so apparently I've reached my limit for vulture.com, by the way, because that was, and you know what it says? It says I reached my monthly limit. I'm like, oh, really? Like, apparently I'm reading
one
a lot of
article?
articles on, I know, one. So this time I went to, uh-oh,
Oh
I
boy.
thought it was like, it's like women's magazine or sorry, I can tell you the person who wrote it was Christopher Fraser or Fraser. I
hmm
thought it said the website here. I thought it was like WD magazine. That's so bad. I'll give the,
Women's Day or something?
but like, no, because it's not Women's
No.
Day. It looked
Oh.
more fashion forward than that. So it's not I know there's W magazine, right? Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
My
I'll find
grandmother used to
out.
get Women's Day and like follow all of like she'd like there's a new um there's a new diet out. I'm gonna try
Oh, yeah,
always
I'm
like a diet
sure.
on the
There's
cover
always a
of that
diet.
magazine.
Well, I think, yeah.
Women's
Hmm.
Day. The
Women's
grocery
Day.
line
Women's
checkout.
Day was cheap. Like, they might even
Mm,
still be around. And it had like cheap in a good way where it wasn't expensive and it had a lot of stuff in it. Like there were
hmm
the diets, the recipes. There'd be little blurbs about like parenting. Like there was anyway.
Yeah.
It was chock full of information. I don't know if it's useful. This is I'll put it in the description where I got this from. That's the one thing. Okay. So Christopher here broke it up by character, which was kind of cool. It's going to be, I think, pretty short. So Carrie, let's see. Well, I like the beginning. They have the latest episode of Max's and Just Like That saw Carrie's rekindled romance with Aiden flourishing. Meanwhile, Anthony found himself taken with his employee. Charlotte is figuring out how to deal with her body changing, and Miranda is moving up the ladder at her internship pretty quickly. And here we go. So Carrie, I think I cut out some stuff, but Carrie basically agrees to go to Virginia with Aiden. We didn't
Mhm.
see that yet, but the girls are apparently shocked that she wants to go to Virginia. I was like, this is not 1999 or whatever the show was on 25 years ago or whatever it was, right? Oh gosh, that really was like 25.
I
Um,
know.
that was so old. Sex in the City, like in a bad way, like immature, dopey, like Miranda. Oh my god, I'm surprised. Like that's like, oh, right? 50
Yeah.
something year old women being like,
It's like
what? You want to leave the city? Like that like went on when I was in my 20s and honestly.
it's like Miranda living in Brooklyn, right? Like when
Right. You live in
she
Brooklyn. Like,
moved to Brooklyn.
yeah.
Ah, that's what it like.
Yeah. I mean, that
Ugh.
was such a dopey, I thought that was a
Yeah,
dopey part. Oh my God, something weird just fell off me. Okay. Don't worry. It's fine. Parts of me fall off. No, I'm
it's
kidding.
all good.
Um, so, oh, wow. They go right into it. She has an existential crisis over thinking her deceased husband, Mr. Big, was a mistake. That was a big one for me. Like,
Mhm.
maybe we need to can we talk about that for your turn for your psychoanalysis? Because I was going to ask you
Oof.
about that. Okay,
Oof.
so Aiden is still weird about being in Carrie's apartment, so they book Che's apartment via Airbnb. They go shopping, due to Che's lack of home accessories. They go shopping for homewares. They fake being cousins, and then management gets concerned. So Che comes to visit and sees how in love they are. And this part, yeah, I'm not going to get into. I'll just say what this says. Che asks why it didn't work out the first time, and Carrie admits she made a mistake by not choosing Aiden.
Mhm.
So says the episode ends with her packing up to visit him in Virginia. Miranda's about to start an internship for the Human Rights Campaign and is happy she's making a difference in the world. She starts her internship, meets the fellow interns, her supervisor. she ends up, I mean, we'll get more into like other stuff, but she ends up receiving an offer to take over for the supervisor for her maternity leave. Um, she's reluctant because the younger interns have been there much longer than her. Her supervisor reminds her that she graduated at the top of her class at Harvard Law School and has 30 years experience. So she shouldn't start shrinking herself now. So Miranda accepts. Anyway, Charlotte tells her kids she's taking a full-time job in an art gallery. She's shocked that they're fine with it. I thought there was going to be a disaster, by the way, that happened at home or something, but it wasn't about that. She's having a self-esteem crisis after buying a dress that she thinks accentuates her stomach in an unflattering way. So she does the broth bone diet, which they don't have in here, which used to work when she was younger. It's not working in her 50s. She attempts to squeeze some spandex. I watched it twice, and the second I was like, oh my gosh, she put on 3 things. There were like 3, I think, not 4. Right? I was like, I mean, I've worn some of those. One of them, and some of them can actually like hurt if they're too tight. They're just, and anyway, I can't imagine. So I wonder if she was really wearing them too. She was like, I breathe. So it says they appear to cut off her breathing. Okay. They don't go into anything else. They don't. Oh, okay. Well, I'll finish that part up because basically when she gets there, she decides F it, and she takes them all off. She saves one of them, and I think she puts one of them on. It's like, it looked more like, I think it looked like the underwear.
Like the last one she put on. Shape
like the tummy
underwear.
Yeah. So she gets a boost of confidence. Anthony gets his own B plot this episode. Yeah, Nia wasn't in it. LTW didn't really have any kind of plot. She just was there with Charlotte, which I loved her being there, like at the store with her. She's just, she's the best. So he learns his attractive new employee, Giuseppe, is also gay. It changes Anthony's entire approach to him. He tries to fire him. They're saying Giuseppe never gets the message, and the episode ends with Giuseppe showing up to work anyway, and Anthony saying he's attracted to him, and then apparently Giuseppe's attracted to him too, because
and he says, I quit. And then
that was
plants went on him.
Yes. Seema is wary about Carrie rushing into things with Aiden. Her real estate partner tries to bring her an A-list actor director of a Marvel movie who needs a 9-month luxury rental. She runs into Carrie at the hair salon, who confronts her about why she's ignoring her calls about dinner with Aiden. Seema reveals that she's concerned about third wheeling with Aiden, and they have a heart-to-heart about Seema being concerned she's never had any great love, period. She finally decides to show up for dinner to meet Aiden, and it goes well. That's the recap I got. That was great. That was 8 minutes.
I love it.
We can go to fashion. I only found one thing. I mean, I didn't hate too many things, but I really found only one thing I loved, but couldn't find it anywhere. It was Carrie's coat/shawl that she wore when she visited Che at the vet clinic. So I looked, of course, on Shop Your TV. Well, first, somebody posted it on Facebook, and I made a mental note. So I went back to the post, but I didn't look if they found it. And they were like, we cannot find it. And then someone posted this same sort of pattern. It was not this coat. They're like, this is close. I'm like, no, it's not. This is more flowy. Like, it is. It's like a half coat shawl. It's like voluptuous, I guess I would call it. Where the coat they showed was more like a trench, like that style where you tie almost like a robe, I guess, sort of. So yeah, it's not to be found. Like, so they couldn't find it. So I got nothing for you, but I loved that. That was like my favorite thing. That was kind of it that really like grabbed me. But so what about you?
I have 4 things. Yeah, I really loved Seema's blouse at lunch. It was like this that signature color that she always wears.
Like, almost coffee, but not. I know what you're talking about. It's like a caramel. I did like that too.
Caramel latte.
I kind of, to be honest, I love everything she wears, but for some reason I don't tend to look it up because it tends to be very like classic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And usually
Yep.
monochromatic in a good way.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, her clothes to me, I just want to like I would wear probably almost everything she
Yeah.
wears too,
They're gorgeous.
but they're not like
Um,
wild or anything.
no. Carrie had another studded purse, so I love that, of course, when
Okay,
she was at the vet clinic.
she had, I believe, a total of 3 studded purses in this episode. The vet clinic one is a brown with the studs. She had a black
Mhm.
one with the studs, I think a couple times. Because now I kept staring at her purses. Then
Mhm.
at the dinner in the final scene, there's another studded one that looks more like, oh God, why can't I think of the style? Where you have like a not a drawstring where you pull
Oh,
it.
like a knot.
It's called
Yeah, like
something.
a I know what you
What is
I
that
know.
called?
I know
Those
what you
used to
mean.
be so
It's like
popular at one time.
some
You
sort
know,
of
like a
sack or
drawstring
something.
bag. I get kind of like
Yeah.
that. She had another, yeah. So she had another one, and it was black, and had the studs on it. Now I should have probably looked up like what's the deal with that and where is it from. I know,
Love
I'm
it.
sure Shop Your TV had it. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Carrie's suitcase, the one that was like the old school Carrie suitcase with
Mm-hmm.
well, not carry the name, but like you carry it, you can't
Yeah.
roll it. It had like a pattern of flowers or something. I don't know. It was really cute.
Was
Stuck
when she
out.
was
I love that.
like the last scene when she was walking out, or
It
no?
was shown up twice when they
Oh,
were going to Chase.
okay, when they were going to Chase, not to
Yeah.
Virginia.
And then both Carrie and Seema's dinner outfits. I couldn't get what there was some sort of sparkle or like embroidery or something on Carrie's outfit at dinner. It was very like you couldn't see much because I think it was like a
Subtle.
quick take of her.
Mm-hmm.
But it caught my attention. I was like, "Ooh, I like that." And then I loved like the one shoulder
So
again. She
Seema's
just ugh,
Seema's was
gorgeous.
gorgeous too. I thought of you actually too, and
Mhm.
Seema's was I thought it was a jumpsuit, but I don't think it. I don't
Mhm.
think so because then I was why I told you this thing annoys me. Because I was scanning stuff on the Shop Your TV website. It was actually a blazer, so she had like a
Mhm.
blazer, and then here, let's see. I think it was pants, and then like the one
Mhm.
shoulder top, or maybe it was a bodysuit. Let's see. Yes, I like that too. But that's what she's classic. Like you could wear that.
Yeah. It was
You could wear that to the
beautiful.
grocery store. No, I'm kidding. You could wear it. It doesn't matter what year. Like you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I feel like I would have liked something like that in my 20s,
Yeah.
or now, or, whatever. Let's see. I know they have it here. What else are they showing here? They show some funny stuff. Um, they show these scenes where we never saw the shoes, like for real, never. Here she. Okay, so there's pants. Let's see. Seema's black. They call them black trousers, but they're sequined. Come on. They are Armani,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Didn't say where you could get it. See, I wish they kind of put. Oh, and here we go. And then the black blazer. I would assume it's Armani also, but maybe not.
Hmm.
That is, yes, that is Armani also. Let's see if they talk about the top separately, but maybe not. No, they didn't. Like, I even
Yeah.
liked her white. Oh, sorry. You're not done, are you? You're not done.
No, that was it. Mhm.
Her white cream dress she's wearing in the
Mhm.
office when she meets the Marvel guy. And
Mhm.
they have it here, and I don't know. I don't think we can see her feet with like, they actually have a belt around it that's like a tan color and brown, like a light brown, almost like a coffee color, and then boots too, like suede boots. Like I just love
Yeah.
that color scheme,
So
like the
pretty.
creams and the earth tones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I can relate. I actually had a bit, not because anything was so unbelievable. I just kind of I actually had a little bit. At first, I was like, I don't know if I can relate to anything. I'm like, okay, so I got some stuff. Having a book at the hair salon because Carrie was holding a book. A lot of times I bring a
Mhm.
book, but I end up not reading it because the hair person talks.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless I'm getting highlights and I have the heater going, then I can read the book.
Right.
Being a third wheel back in my 20s, oof, even though we never actually see Seema being a third wheel,
Right.
But I can definitely relate to that. I mean, I never was in that situation exactly, but I was a third wheel. It felt like a lot. Like always my roommates had boyfriends and I did not when I lived in the city in my 20s. But honestly, not in a flirty way. Like the boyfriends like to hang out with me there. Like
Yeah.
just chat with me. I could relate to going on maternity leave. Woman was going on maternity leave and meeting your replacement because I did. I didn't pick her, but I loved her immediately when I met her. And the last thing is Carrie smelling the book. She smells Howard's End. I love old books. I love the smell of books in the library. All that, like, yeah. Okay, what do you have?
I have the family meeting, Charlotte's family meeting. I try to do that here, and my kids give me the same, like, when is this over reaction. 100%. Shaking the salad. I always put the cover on and I shake. I did today. I had a ahi tuna bowl, and I put all of the fixings in there, and then I shake it up because I like equal distribution. And lastly, I can't believe this wasn't on there. The hanger reference. And I was like,
oh shoot, I forgot about that. She's like, she has wire hangers.
Shay's apartment.
Yes. Oh my god, I totally another hanger. Sorry, people. Be snotty. Wire hangers are terrible for many reasons.
So bad.
Not use those.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yes, I agree. That's on my list too. Okay, love. When Aiden hugs Carrie after she says she made a mistake to Che. I'm not saying I'm happy. I have such a torn feeling. No, I don't. No, wait. Oh. I don't know where to put this. It's not a love. It's not a hate. Exactly. It's not a love. That the fact that she said Big was a mistake. That is terrible. I think that's terrible. I can't say like I hate it because I feel like that's angry almost. But I did love the way he hugged her when I liked that moment, and I liked Che like welled up. Like I did like that whole moment. I thought that was I loved it, I guess. I loved Anthony's bedroom decor when he calls Charlotte.
Yeah.
I took a picture of my screen. It's terrible, but it's modern-y, like, but maybe 50s, like that chic. Maybe it's 60s. You know what I'm saying? Mod. It's mod. And then I did love that Miranda got offered the maternity leave. I think she did deserve it, regardless of how long the other interns had been there.
Yeah. I loved the blue velvet bar stools at the restaurant when they went out for lunch, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice
you
them.
might have not. They
were in the background, like they were at the table, and then the blue.
And they were long.
I wonder.
Like it was a long bar, and they had these gorgeous blue velvet bar stools that I was
and knowing this show, it's probably a real place.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, remember, we found out last season, like there were some that weren't, but I think part of it might have been the COVID thing, possibly. But
yeah, find out, and then maybe you could take me there on a date.
Okay.
Next time we're in the city.
Next time we go.
Next adventure. Let's see. It's kind of like a fashion thing, but I loved the way, and I still have yet to figure out how people tie their belts. But the actor guy in Seema's office, the way that he tied his trench belt or whatever, I'm like, I still cannot figure out how to tie
that is
anything like that.
I noticed the second time around, I stared at the way it was tied and it was to the side. I was like that guy in real life was like,
yeah,
like
there's
that's
gotta be a TikTok for it. And like we have a mutual friend that owns a boutique, and she always will go, you just do this, and she'll like do it for me.
Oh,
I'm
she
like,
ties.
Oh yeah, like it's no problem. I'm like,
you have to just leave it there and not touch it.
It's terrible.
If it gets untied, you're like, I'm never wearing this again.
Never again.
It's terrible. Yeah.
So still want to learn how to tie that.
It's so funny because I honed in. It was the second time I was watching. I was like, that dude would never have known how to do that tie. That's what I thought. I was like, it almost looks like it was pinned. it was like great too because it was to the side where normally people tie in the middle.
Yeah, it
Women,
was
I feel like
perfect.
I'm being sexist. Women, I feel like would tie to the side, would venture into tying to the side.
Yeah, it just yeah, but he probably has like a stylist, I would imagine,
Yeah,
but maybe not.
I
He
mean,
was very worldly. We'll learn more about him,
yes,
I'm sure.
he was very like Euro. What was he exactly? Like his accent, you're like,
Yeah,
where are you from? I just
yeah,
his whole outfit was hysterical to me. Like he was
yeah,
wearing the sunglasses. He had like, didn't he have a little scarf around his
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
neckerchief?
Very stylish, very
Very
stylish,
her.
very
As soon as that is
hmm
so her, like her type.
totally. And then the last thing I loved was when they were in Che's apartment, uh, they offered them a beer, and I noticed that the beer
It was
that
the
they
biggest
brought
bottle you've
out.
ever seen in your life.
So
Okay.
I was zooming in, but I knew the label right away. I was like, that is Maine lunch beer, and we've had it before. It's pale ale. It's delicious,
Is the
and it
bottle
comes in that.
gigantic? Okay.
It's it is, but it's not like a wine bottle.
No,
Maybe it's a
yeah.
375 milliliter. It
Okay.
looks big, but I figured they picked it because it's very classy looking and
Yeah.
it's the simple label and it
Yep.
almost looks
I
really
couldn't see it.
expensive. And the beer is
Yes.
actually good. So I loved that they had that in
I'm
there because
happy
I've
you
had
said
that
that
beer.
because when I watched that, they handed it to her. I'm like, that looks like a bottle of wine. Like I had to look at it. I'm like, but
Mhm.
it's not. But it's not. I was like, oh no, that's just my. I'm like, what is this bottle? Okay, that's good to know. It's definitely not a normal
Yeah.
size. Oh, I did also love, and I thought you were gonna love this. I kind of loved when they were shopping in the kitchen store.
Oh,
And
yes.
I'm not a
Yeah.
like I don't I don't love to cook at all.
I
I
know.
don't mind gadget. I kind of well no maybe have a little bit of a love hate relationship, but it's more hate. But
Hmm.
I loved them in the store. I'll be honest too. There was this feel of so when I lived in the city, I never had a serious relationship, and I did want one. Well, I thought I did. I probably actually really didn't, but I thought I did. And I remember thinking like being in a relationship, having I had an apartment in the city with my friends, and having an apartment in the city with a partner where we would go
Hmm.
into those houseware stores and walk around the city and
Yeah.
go shopping. And so I was like, oh, and it felt like it was, I don't know what season exactly it's supposed to be because it was winter at one point, but it felt more fall to me this episode, like
Yeah.
what they were wearing and stuff. And I love fall and the cozy knit. I don't, it was just, I love the kitchen scene.
Hmm.
Very like nesting, that nesting feel or that
Oh, yeah.
homey feel.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're like both loaded and they can buy a $47 garlic, like crusher, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
garlic
I would
mincer,
be getting
whatever.
that at like
I
the
know,
Home
but I'm just
Goods.
like, of course
Like
they're like,
$4.
ah,
Yeah.
um,
Oy.
okay. The hate. Carrie's
Mm.
robe sweats mishmash outfit at lunch. What the TF? I mean, what? I try. It got
Yeah.
worse and worse as I saw her full body. Now, before I saw the episode, someone posted, I don't know if it was in the Facebook group, the hat, like half her outfit. I think they even posted it before episode 7 even aired, like before it even aired. And they're like, what is she's wearing a robe. They're like, this is fashion. They're like Vogue robe or something. They were making fun of it. And I was
Mm.
like, oh Jesus. I'm all for robe type stuff. We've talked about this. We love the feel of a robe.
Hmm.
I would love
Yep.
to wear, I mean, I'll wear a robe. I don't care outside, but no, this was so many
Yeah.
wrongs. Like the sweater she was wearing, when you just saw the top of her, it was cute at the
Hmm.
place. So she has on this, turquoisey blue, I'm not sure exactly what color that is, sweater with the pattern on it. Then there's a cardigan over it in this
Right.
picture. There are sweats. She's wearing sweats, and then she's wearing, it looks like Gucci slippers. I know they're Gucci because I saw, and then this robe thing. Like,
Yeah.
this is not, remember she wore the house dress season?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bewitched and bothered by house
With the
dresses, I think I put as the title for me.
was it the Playtex gloves too?
Oh, yeah, what was the
When she
reason?
went
Was there
smoking
a
around the
reason?
block?
Oh, because she was smoking because she didn't want it to be
Yeah,
on
yeah,
her
yeah.
hands
It
or
was the best.
but like what?
Oh.
We are both all for lounge chic, right? Whatever you want to call it. I will wear
Oh, I love it.
sweats with high heels. I don't care. But this,
Mhm.
no,
No.
no, no, no,
Mm-mm.
people, no. I mean, no. Okay. Another part I hated,
Mm.
Miranda biting on the cookie where the other intern had bitten it.
That's my only hate.
Really,
Gross.
that was just, I was like,
No.
COVID like has taught, even pre-COVID, who the heck is doing that? To anybody. I won't do that with my child. I'm not gonna bite where my
They're
kid
strangers,
bit.
nonetheless.
I
You just
know.
met them.
You just met them.
Ew.
Oh my God.
I love you so much, but I'm not sharing a cookie with you unless we're breaking it in half. Like, I'm not biting and sharing saliva.
On the other end, would you ever offer someone you just met a bite out of it?
No, I thought it was really weird.
That's not even like
bizarre that
a millennial.
No,
I don't think anyone would do that in their right mind. Okay. Thank you. That bothered me. Yeah. I hated the interns getting upset about this. Mm. I mean, it was like a stereotype a little bit, like, and they didn't come across like a teeny bopper at all. But 30 years in corporate law.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to piss you off because you're like, oh my God, she just got here. But come on. In fact, you should respect her. Like, respect your elders, people. Come on. Mm-hmm. 30 years, like, she does. Come on. She knows more than you. That's it. Mm-hmm. And it stinks, but I got mad about them getting mad. And yeah, those are my hates.
It was a little too Devil Wears Prada for me.
Yeah. And then when they're texting back and forth, I feel like. Yeah. Anyway, what were your hate was the cookie.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay. So for speech language analysis, I didn't have anything. I mean, I was like, nobody said anything weird. I mean, I don't know where that guy's accent's from. The Marvel director guy. I forgot his name. But I don't think I had anything.
Yeah, even the psych stuff. I know you and I were trying to chat about the whole comment
that he was a big mistake.
I think that she's now going back again to the decision, right? Mm-hmm. Because we remember in Sex and the City with Big and the whole, and that thing. I'm like, oh geez, I'm like, wow. Here we go. So I think it's more, you wonder, is it more to go back and say like, oh, I made a big mistake and like a regret, or is it like I'm trying to validate my decision to try this out with him again now that the other
guilty, like not feel guilty for doing this, Big died and now she's going back. Maybe, yeah.
That's a tough one.
It bothered me, but I kind of liked that storyline because I did not expect her to say that. I was like,
no.
And
no.
Also, there was something else that, shoot, I can't remember.
And I think, too, she's processed all of the happiness and we got to see a little piece of their relationship, their marriage, and everything else too. So I don't think, I don't know. I don't think she really thinks it was a mistake, but I think now she's at this like, here he is showing up again. I can't help myself, but go back and not go back in time and start, but basically have a fresh start with somebody who I did, but for good reasons too, right? I mean, well, her whole love story is a little complicated.
Yes, and everybody says nobody gets their Mr. Big. Like I know people who got like mad about it. I'm like, no, I love this. Mm-hmm. I love that she got her Mr. Big. Who cares anyway? Mm-hmm. But
and I didn't like the whole like. I remember that I should like rewatch too that season of with Aiden and stuff too, because I remember being like real angry, like so angry about the smoking in the apartment and like the
he got annoyed. They made like at first we loved him, and then
and
then they made us hate him. Like and then he was like, "What are you doing? What's your date?" Remember, she was like, "Oh my God!" Like he was annoying her,
like suffocating.
He was suffocating. He was, and
the dog,
Oh,
the furniture store, and like I don't know, it was just like a lot. I remember like the
yes.
proposal, and I felt like the proposal kept happening or something.
Well,
I
remember
have to again. I should go
he
back.
totally got her the wacky ring that she was
Yeah,
like, oh, didn't she throw up when
yeah,
she saw it or something?
something.
Or the visceral reaction.
Oh man.
Yeah. But people, so it's funny because before I saw it, you know, I would scroll by mistake and like and just like
Mm-hmm.
that Facebook page, and they were like, I think there's something with the way Aiden looked at Seema and Seema looked at Aiden. They know each other from somewhere. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, chat. Is this going to be the storyline? I was like, oh, that's kind
Oh,
of dopey. And I was,
yeah.
and then, and also there was that. No, I don't remember. But, oh, and also people have been, so basically when I watched it, I'm like, these people are reading into things like it's a reality show.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're acting like
Right,
they're
right,
real
right.
people. No, not at all. She explained why. Because then when she was acting weird about going, I was like, oh my God, does she know him? And like, I was like, oh no, I didn't want that to be the storyline. And I was glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew each other. Because unless he's also the type of character from what I think that he's pretty honest. Like he will be like, bleh. Like he doesn't like the lying. Like she cheated on him, you know, the whole thing, all this stuff. But also, shoot, I keep losing my thought. Seema, was it something with Seema? I don't know.
Well, I don't think I dislike the Aiden coming back in, and he had a whole life, right? He had a family.
Yeah.
I, for one, could never see Carrie having kids.
No.
So I do think that she and Big had the marriage, had the life that really was suited for them.
For her at that time.
And
yes.
for her at that time.
Yeah.
And now we're in a different, and I think, you know, you go back and young love, or call it whatever, you know, in the past,
yeah,
and you rekindle something when you're both single,
you
know,
right
she's
place.
Widowed, and it's the right place, the right, you know, who cares? Life is short, right? So I don't dislike that. I just I didn't hate that she brought that up, but I didn't like that she was, but again, she's with a trusted friend, and just she's probably is very mixed emotions about him coming back into her life so sudden, and now it's like we're together.
Yeah.
There's
and he was always the one.
He's also a different person. She's falling in love with a different an evolved person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So,
and also
I know.
Yes, also he's asking me, Dave said. Two, when Seema points out you've had two great loves, maybe Carrie's having the problem with coming to that. That like we've all been told you'll have one soulmate, you'll have one great love in your life. I think you can have soulmates, by the way, in people. Like, I mean, not just lovers, with people and friends and dogs.
Absolutely.
So I think you're right. And, you know, I hope that the writers don't have her really, like, I hope she comes to that, you know. I'm just, I'm so on the verge of like, is this gonna last? Is it gonna last? What's going on? So just like, I felt like I was on eggshells just waiting for something to get messed up with this whole thing.
Yeah. Maybe if people saw Carrie seek out a therapist where she could process some of this, maybe people would feel a lot better and then shut it.
Well, she also doesn't narrate in this. And that is the missing piece where you kind of could hear more in her mind what was happening, what she was thinking. Also, oh my God. I keep thinking of something and I'm like, oh my God. The apartment.
Oh, dear me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is what I was going to say. The Facebook groups, God, people are like tearing Carrie apart. They're like, I hate Carrie. Like, I think I never liked her. And like all this stuff. I'm like,
oh, give me a break.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah, come on.
She was the one everybody wanted to be. Like, I remember people always be like, I'm Carrie. I'm like, no, you're not. No one's a Carrie.
Yeah. And I don't think Big would be against what Carrie's doing right now, honestly. No. I think he'd be okay with it. He is gone. They had their love.
Yes.
And she's
going to be with anybody.
Yeah. it's I think he would be fine with it. I really do.
Yeah. I don't think he'd be fine with her saying that she made a mistake in marrying him.
No,
I mean,
probably
that's
not.
such
No.
a huge.
No.
She's just not thinking.
She's not. It's probably very, very complicated to be with him again in her mind.
Yes. I can't even imagine.
And convince herself that it's okay.
Excuse me.
And you know what? Who cares what other people think?
No.
It's your life. And
and
who knows what will happen when she meets her kids. And I looked at the preview and she meets the ex-wife. And
who, by the way, that actress is married to Berger in real life.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember his name.
It? Oh no, Post-it wasn't Berger.
No, that was Berger.
Or was he? Yeah.
I can't.
That was Berger.
Jack Berger. I can't remember, of course, his real name. He'll always be Jack Berger.
Oh man.
Did you like it? The episode?
Overall, yes.
Yeah.
You?
I liked it. I feel like there's a little more lightness.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But I didn't flat out, like, there's been some episodes where I'm like, this one.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to end. Like, there's been some where I'm like, okay. This was also, I think, a shorter episode, too. Maybe.
There was a lot in it. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. There's your recap.
There's your recap, even though you watched the show 3 weeks ago.
Sorry, we'll try to get back on track here.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.